Are you into sunsets or sipping wine on the beach? Maybe some innocent hand-holding underneath a blanket? Okay, what about the neuroses flying through the mind of a woman on a date with a kind man for the first time in a decade? If you like any of those things, this episode is for you. Hello, and welcome back to the For Lover Peanut Butter Dating Podcast. I'm Kelly Shanley, and this is episode 206, my second Stony Sunset date with Andrew. In my last episode, I introduced you to Dex, our fourth and final suitor from my accidental summer of love. You've met them all! Congratulations! Which means it's time to get into the second dates, starting with Andrew, the very sweet Tahoe local who I met playing softball, who the universe refused to let me ignore. If you missed the first date, check out episode 202 and then come right back here. The day of my sunset date with Andrew, I was excited. It felt amazing to actually be looking forward to a date. For years, I had braced myself for the endless stream of first dates I experienced, the same way I braced myself for a dentist appointment. I hoped there wouldn't be too much awkward small talk. I hoped he wouldn't ask me questions while my mouth was full of food. And most importantly, I hoped I wouldn't die a slow, painful death at the hands of a stranger. It's so fun being a woman. Getting myself excited to go out with Andrew again was nothing like pulling teeth. Andrew had invited me over to watch the sunset from his new lakefront residence, so naturally I arrived with the 3 Bs in tow. Beach chair, blanket, bottle of wine. Right? He greeted me with a big hug and a smile, which only got bigger when I told him I had also brought the 4th lesser-known B, big fat joint. But it was so lumpy and lopsided that I was a little embarrassed to show it to him. Rolling joints is not one of my talents. But I am who I am, so I offered it up.
Hijo de la chingada. Is that a joint, man?
And did he make fun of me? No, he didn't. He found it adorable and sweetly offered to re-roll it for me, like a real gentleman. This guy clearly graduated from Cannabis Cotillion. We headed down to the lake. The beach was empty because it was pretty windy, so Andrew positioned himself on the windward side in order to shield me from the chill. That's some mountain chivalry for you right there. We drank wine from travel coffee mugs and smoked Andrew's perfectly rolled big fat joint and just talked. It was the most Tahoe date ever. Andrew told me about when he first moved up to Tahoe, which was the ski season of 2008-2009. I told him I had left Tahoe in the summer of 2008 to move to LA. Oh, we just missed each other. It felt like kismet, but in reverse, which is strange considering how many times we had serendipitously collided since then. Like, this was the guy that the universe kept setting me up with. Like, make up your damn mind, universe. You can either aid us or sabotage us, but you can't do both. I made a comment about my hand being cold, and Andrew made his move. He reached under my blanket to hold my hand. Oh my God, he's so sweet. Wow, that is cold. He seemed surprised, as if it had been an elaborate ruse to make him hold my hand, when really the opposite was true. I smiled and attempted to quell the reflexive panic growing inside of me, fighting the urge to fix my hair or scratch my nose or refill my wine. Any excuse to move my hand away from his. Not because I didn't like him, but because I was in the habit of terminating these moments of intimacy out of self-preservation. I could bypass eye contact, sidestep a kiss, or fake an untimely sneeze like it was my job, okay? Yeah. Online dating had turned me into the human equivalent of a stray cat. Distrustful, hungry, and easily spooked. I took a few breaths and calmed myself. He's just holding your hand, not asking for it in marriage, okay? Just see if you like it before you shut it down. Okay. As it turned out, I did like it. And so did my fingers, gently thawing in the warmth of his palm. I asked him about his boat because he's a boat guy, and hearing him talk about his love of boating made my heart happy. Seriously, you guys, If we got married, I would 100% be second priority behind his boat, and I am totally okay with that. I told him about my childhood growing up with a ski boat, how my dad would drag me out of bed so we could catch the smooth, early morning water that's perfect for water skiing, bribing me with the promise of donuts and a hot tub to return to. I'm a simple creature. I could picture my future playing out with Andrew exactly like my childhood. Whoa, whoa. Slow the fuck down, Cal. No chance that was out loud, right? Our conversation carried on well past the sunset until the temperature dipped and we decided it was too cold and we had to head back inside. But when I went to fold up my Tommy Bahama chair, it would not cooperate. It was like a man spreader on the subway. Happy to unfold more, but it wouldn't give an inch in the direction I wanted. Andrew tried to act like he wasn't laughing at me. Excuse you? Here, let me help you with that rapscallion of a chair, he offered. Oh, by all means, let's see if you can do better. He could not. The chair would not be vanquished. I laughed way too hard at him floundering with the chair, like way too hard. I was a little worried later. I may have overanalyzed it in my head. But it was only because he had assumed he could thwart it so easily. We gave up and just carried the chair in its preferred state, wide open. Side note, anyone who owns a Tommy Bahama beach chair knows exactly what I'm talking about. Those chairs, while awesome because of their cup holders and padded shoulder straps that allow you to wear them like a backpack, are notorious for not going down without a fight. I swear it's not just me. Once we got back to Andrew's place, I felt a little awkward. Not his fault, but he lived in a studio and the only furniture was his bed. Not my favorite, but I think he sensed that. I sat on the edge of the bed and he stood near me as we ate popcorn and made stony jokes. After I cracked a particularly fruity joke about a banana and collapsed into a pile of giggles, he laughed sincerely right along with me. I showed him my ridiculous and he liked it. I began to relax just a little bit. He made his way over to me little by little, approaching with caution, treating me like the stray cat that I was, kneeling on the floor, hanging an arm over my leg. When he sat next to me on the bed, I knew he was going to go for the kiss. My vigilant mind was all, get the fuck out of here before he makes you love him. But my heart was like, whoa, calm down. He's not going to hurt you. He laughed at that half-baked banana joke, so he must really like you. Okay. Excellent point. I didn't run. In fact, I even gave him an opening. Yeah, I had an eyelash stabbing me in the eyeball for hours. And when I mentioned it, he said, let me see. Classic rom-com moment. I turned to face him and he leaned in and he just looked at me content. My mind was like, abort, get the fuck out. And my heart was like, hey, relax, stop fighting it. Stay here, abort, stay here, relax, you're safe. Freak out, stop fighting. So stressful. Oh, I willed myself to listen to my heart and stay in the moment. And he kissed me twice. No tongue, sweet, non-presumptuous. I smiled at him and then he kissed the side of my head. So cute. Like we've been doing it since 2008. After that, he walked me to the door and told me he would text me to make plans to hang out again. I told him I couldn't wait. I left. Giddy. Holy shit. Did I just have a good date? I was kind of proud of myself for not running away when I so easily could have. I stayed in the moment and it was worth it. And believe it or not, I was excited to have a third date. The next morning, I had to deal with my chair. It was still unfolded in the back of my car. So I Googled how to fold a Tommy Bahama chair. And the first video that popped up on YouTube was a silver-haired boomer giving instructions in a wavering Rastafarian accent.
Yes, man.
It made me laugh so hard, I sent it to Andrew immediately, who laughed and then replied with a video of that morning's sunrise over the lake. Okay, not that. He gets me. do yourself a favor and check out the video I linked in the show notes. It's hilarious. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave us a review, and tell your friends. Seriously, if this episode made you think of one single person, maybe a stoner, maybe a wine drinker, maybe a sunset lover, maybe a super neurotic friend of yours who can't handle going on dates with nice people, like me, the best thing you can do is share this with them, okay? Of course, it helps me if you share it, but I also think it helps people to feel less alone in their chaotic dating journeys. Thank you so much for watching and listening, and be sure to tune in to the next episode where we'll go on our second date with the very dreamy Brooks. I'm still Kelly Shanley, and I'll see you next time, Lover Nutters. Let's do this thing. I'm tired for dentist appointments. I hope there wouldn't. No, I don't like that take. It wasn't the time for sex on the beach. Our conversation.
Is it heavy stuff, man? Will it blow me away? Put your seatbelt on, man.